Alright, so it seems that some of you guys are still kind of confused on how to start vlogs on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and all the other channels and Instagram and whatnot. So I'll try to break it down as much as I can for you guys so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. So my style is kind of freestyle, sort of similar towards Casey Neistat, Peanut McKinnon, and your average consumer and all those others. I just kind of randomly wing it because I never really thought of using a script per se. It's more of just kind of finding a niche and being that go-to person that people can just come to and ask questions. And, hey, what do you know about this? What do you know about that? Say for example, if I were to have this Manchurian lunch, how I would do is that I would talk about why I got it and where I got it from, and things like that, and how much it costs. This here I actually got from Key Foods. So they had these 50, 60 cents on at Key Food. I bought like 7 of these for like $2 or $3 or something like that. The whole point is that you want to be that go-to person that your best friend comes to, or your siblings, or your coworkers, or whoever it is. You want to be that go-to person to get advice from them. In addition to that, you also want to post about the highlights of your day, what makes this special, and this, that, and the third. When they see your face almost every day, but not quite every day, when it comes on, they immediately know who it is, and they immediately recognize what they're going to talk about next. It's really about being on point and being front and center. You're not bobbing and weaving, you're not doing this, that, and the third, but you also want to create a story at the same time on how it leads up to talking about the crown jewel of the video. So when you guys saw the One World Observatory vlog that I posted up there, I put the highlight on the video at the first, and then I put the intro on there next. I kind of did it like NCIS style, and I just went through the whole theme all the way up to the end until it comes up to what matches up to the intro. Another thing as well is you also want to go between octaves, like 1 or 2 octaves, so it doesn't sound like monotone when you're actually talking to somebody. This is done to where your audience doesn't get bored, I guess. When you are talking about something, they want to be interested in what you got to say. So go on a couple of octaves. Like say for example, when you're shocked about something, you raise an octave, or you get depressed on something, you drop an octave. So you want to use that to your advantage. The next thing is you also want to stop and start. You want to keep the audience on their feet. So once again, that way they don't get bored in what you have to say. They want to hear every word. You want to get them to hear every word, and then once the video ends, they have a pretty good idea what's going on. So like I said, you got to break it down. You want to make sure that they get the idea of what's going on. You have to talk to your audience like it's your best friend. Also, hand gestures. Definitely need to use your hand gestures. I understand also as well that a lot of you are camera shy, and that's okay. Posting vlogs and posting videos, posting what you do about your daily life, it's not a competition, okay? It's more of an adventure. You want to go out and basically experience life, and what the camera's purpose is, you're basically bringing somebody else along, even though they're sitting at a toilet for like 5 minutes and they ain't got nothing else to do but look at YouTube all day. The whole point of the camera, even if it's a GoPro or a DJI pocket camera or any sort of camera, the whole purpose of the camera is you have that with you in your adventures. So again, it's not a competition. It never will be a competition. It's really just on the creative side of things. It's more trying to figure out what idea that you come up with and just fulfilling that idea and then showing that to people or showing it to your audience on how you got to that particular idea and how it manifested on that. But the core of it is basically being that go-to. You're the go-to person for pretty much this particular subject. So if you're like photography, or you're a musician or a DJ, or you're a writer, or you're a trucker or something, it could be anything in the book. It doesn't really matter. The fact is you're the go-to person. You're somebody that everybody wants to go to for good information. Everything what I'm talking about here is highly useful. And as far as sharing videos and music and things like that, the niche I found with this one is something I just recently learned, is that if you're making music, especially house music or electronic music or dubstep, if you guys are making it, or drum and bass or things like that, is that if you're making that kind of video, what you want to do is that you want to use that track as if it was a soundtrack. So what I mean by that is, instead of just posting the track by itself, what you want to do is you want to take the music and instill it as a sound bite or a 10-second flick or something like that. You want to install it in a particular section of the video. So if you're doing like a cinematic scene, or if you're doing like a I don't want to say a music video of some kind, that's something separate. But when you're doing vlogs, you want to take that soundtrack or music of what you make and pop it into the music. Say for example, if you're taking video of going on kayaking, or you're clubbing or something like that, or you're taking dinner, you're talking with somebody at dinner or something like that. I mean, it could be anything as long as there's no actual voice audio. But if you like you're doing landscape or things like that, like cinematic shots, that's a good place to put a soundtrack. If you're doing transitional shots, or you're doing aerial footage or something like that, that's a good place to put your music at. So that it's definitely worth giving it a shot. That's how a lot of my music in the past has gotten famous. Well, not famous, but well known. Just a little bit of background. I've had 5 #1 tracks on Beatport back when Beatport was still trendy. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. Once all that stuff is done, then it comes to the editing and the post-production part. You want to put in your special effects and things like that. But you don't necessarily want to do that until you have actual experience, acting and camera movements and tricks, knowing what your subject's going to be and this, that, and the third. You want to get all the vloggings out the way as far as being finished with all this stuff before you go into editing. But the whole point is you want to not just talk about what you're doing in the video, but you want to create a story. And the story is what dictates the experience for that you want to give towards the audience. So you're the go-to person, but you want to tell the story at the same time. And like I said, being camera shy, it is definitely understanding. There's a lot of people out there that didn't know how to act in front of a camera, but like I said before, the camera is your best friend. You want to take your best friend on all of these trips. Okay, any trip that you can think of: Hawaii, Singapore, Cape Town, Paris, Moscow, Mexico City, Los Angeles, New York, Canada. Hell, if you guys are feeling really adventurous, I would say Antarctica or something like that. Go underwater. It doesn't really matter. But what you're doing is you're taking the camera with you and about the highlights of your day, or you're the go-to person on teaching stuff to people or talking about stuff to people. There's a lot of folks out there that don't really talk about anything out there all day, and they still make hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Like, for example, The View. You have 5 people sitting around across the table, but they don't talk really about anything besides politics and fashion and whatnot. So if they're doing that, imagine what you could come up with as a trendy subject for people to look at. Now, my goal is to get a full force production company off the ground, which is Solid Art Entertainment, if you guys don't know, and actually start making short films and maybe full feature films if the budget is right, and just employ a whole bunch of people and get them to know motion graphics and camera production or camera movement and things like that. I want to have at least like a good crew of people, kind of like a boutique company, to basically work with me to make that kind of stuff, in photography, music, videography, motion graphics, stop motion stuff, things like that, painting. Just have at least 20, 30, 40, maybe 50, 60, 70 people out there working with my company to work on that kind of stuff. So that's basically what I'm saying. You don't have to rush into it. It's not a competition. You're not into Olympics of videography and photography. It's more of an adventure. It's more of, all right, so what's going to be the next idea? What's going to be the next place to go to? How do I not necessarily impress people, but how do I inspire people? That's basically what it comes down to. So, but like I said, if you want me to break it down further, I would be more than happy to do that. As far as sound selection, it really comes to what your style and what your taste of songs you want to have into your music, into your videos. It could be your own creations, or you could use other folks. Just make sure that you give the credits to them so they know that you're just not sitting, just blatantly plagiarizing. You give credit to the others that also make the footage or the soundtracks or things like that. So same with the sound effects. You know, I used a lot of sound effects in the past. Same deal. It's really more of a basic thing, and it's more of trying to, you know, tell my story in front of those that's been with me for a while. Some of you that are, you know, newly friends with me, I say about within the past 3 to 6 months. Welcome to my little channel, I guess. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I know you guys haven't been here that long, but you know, I try to create amazing stuff for people. Some of you know, some of you don't. And those that have known me for years and years and years, you guys know that I make good stuff. So making stuff is not that hard. Making vlogs isn't that hard. As a matter of fact, you can make videos for free. It's just you have to put just a little bit more brain work into it to actually tell the story. Because otherwise, people are going to get confused as to what you say. It is a double-edged sword. It is hard, but at the same time, when you stay persistent at it, you stay honest with yourself, and you actually have something to talk about, you know, and you find your niche, it's going to be a breeze. It's going to be second nature, because this sort of thing is, for me, it's fun. It's really fun. It's really interesting to me. And I hope to join those that also create as well. It really doesn't matter what kind of art that you're doing. I would love to, just sit there and film what you do. For me, it's been a long road, and I still got even a longer road to trek. But I'm also working on a short film myself. It's just my first one, but I'm still trying to work out the kinks for it. And then there's also a music video I'm working on. I'm not exactly sure if this one, I might scrap it. I'm not really sure. If you guys need tips, if you guys need pointers, let me know. I'll put them into the comments. If you guys need references to other YouTubers that I look at, let me know. I'll drop some in the comments. And yeah, just let me know. My channel is Headlock, and my music channel is Village Lines. I do use those simultaneously. And if you guys have noticed, I did come up with my new website, or a new website design, where everything's a little bit more condensed. So if you're looking on a smartphone, you guys have access to the videos and photos and contact information and all this stuff right there on 1 or 2 pages instead of just spread out over 12. A good major redesign of the website. I just had to get stuff printed and things like that. I got to come up with the money. As you guys know, I've gotten a city job with New York City. There's a hang-up with the deposition paperwork, because there's like 2 entities that aren't really talking to each other for some odd reason. I gotta get that stuff figured out. Starting tomorrow, which is Monday, September, whatever day it is. So, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. If you guys need pointers, let me know. I'll drop them into the comments. And yeah, I will definitely see you guys in the next video.